Welcome to The Longest Turn. This is episode 72, Great Games We're Terrible At. My name is Tyler.
Hello, this is Kevin.
This is Tyson.
In this episode, we're going to talk about some of the games that we really like or love that we aren't the greatest at.
Yeah, can't figure out how to play them.
This was so fun to research this for me because I'm like, I love this game, but man, I don't win very often. Yeah.
It made me realize as I looked through my list of plays, how many games I'm actually terrible at.
I'm interested to see what are on your guys' lists for sure.
There were a couple that I thought I was really bad at, and the numbers weren't as bad as I thought they were, but they still may have made my list.
You were able to find 5 though.
Yeah,
I mean, you're pretty good at games, but
I've got quite a few.
Brag.
I've got about 15. I got to whittle that down to 5 in the next 45 minutes while we talk about games we played lately.
Got it. No, that sounds good.
Yeah, I had quite a few as well, and I had to narrow it down. I decided my first cutoff, I started at looking at anything that I had a 25% win rate or less, and then I realized, there's a lot that I have less than 20% and less than 15%.
I got to narrow this down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and then there's games that I have like 1 play or 2 plays at, and I know I'm terrible, but not enough plays to put them on the list.
Right.
Yeah. Too small a sample size.
Yeah.
I think that though is an interesting point, because that means that if we're still playing these games and we have multiple plays of them and we're terrible at them, it's a mark of it's got to be a good game, right?
It's a great game. Yeah. I mean, a few of these are made my top 50 list, right? So if it's in my top 50 and I'm still terrible at the game, that's a great game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cool.
We've been playing games that we're not necessarily terrible at, right? New games. What has everybody been playing lately?
So I'll start. We got sent a game. Now, Pandasaurus, they do great card games, right? So
Totally
Sea
agree.
Salt and Paper, one of our favorites. They sent us a new one called Pixies. I think this one's been on BGA for a while. Yep. We had the chance to get the physical version. We had a game night on Saturday, broke it out and played. And this game was a lot of fun, right? So the way it works is you have a deck of cards. These cards have various colors and various numbers. And what you do to start the game is you flip over a number of cards based on the number of players, and then there's a draft. So if it's your turn, you're going to pick a card. It has a numbered value between 1 and 9. There's going to be potentially spirals on those cards or crosses on those cards. You put that card in the spot that it goes. So 1, 2, 3 is on the top row, 4, 5, 6 middle, 7, 8, 9 is on the bottom. So if it's a 1, it goes in the top left corner. Okay. You have a few options with that card. If that spot is available, you just place that card there face up. If there is a face down card there, then you have an option of, then you put a card on top of that face down card. If there's a face up card there, then you have a choice. You can turn either card, either the one you just chose or the one that's already there, face down. Now that card that's on top, if it has a card underneath it face down, is then validated, and you get the point value of that card at the end of the round. You're going to play 3 rounds. You're also working towards the longest set of cards that's the same color, that's adjacent to each other. You're going to get points at the end of the game for all of those cards that are adjacent to each other of the same color, your largest color that you have. You're going to get points for spirals that are on cards, and then you're going to get negative points for any crosses that are on cards. And there's other, small ways to score, but that's kind of the gist of the game and how it works. And you're going to do this for 3 rounds. Whoever has the most points at the end of the 3 rounds is going to be the winner. Super simple game, super simple concept, but super fun to play because you're drafting cards, you're looking at your tableau of cards, but you're also looking around the table to see what everybody else has and what they're collecting. You're changing your strategy potentially in the middle of a round because somebody else is collecting something, and it just kind of happens to work out that you're getting cards of another color. Fun decisions to make, a lot of interaction around the table because you want to make sure you're not giving people what they need. It just makes for a really easy, fun, simple game that I had just a ton of fun with.
The game feels familiar to me. Like there's a lot of like things going on that is very familiar in other styles games, and I can't even think of what game it specifically reminds me of, but I've played like these set collection kind of games, card matching, point gathering games, right? However, what I think Pixies does that is unique is the validation of cards, which is an interesting mechanism in this game, right? Like you have the card and you can put two cards in one space. One has to be face down and one is face up, and you get to choose which one goes face up and face down, which allows you some flexibility in where cards are going to be placed and how they're going to be placed. But I think that I really like that, especially since once you have a card validated, the value on the card is how many points you're going to score for it, right? And so it makes that 9 really interesting.
And everybody knows that.
Right? And everybody may be going for a 9 because they already have one.
Exactly. And usually the higher value cards have more crosses on them, right?
Yep.
Which is bad.
Which is bad, unless you validate that card. And then it's worth the face value of the card. So, the fact that everybody else knows that and there's a limited number of those higher value cards in the deck, it makes for some interesting situations that come up, right?
I like the shift in points over the course of the 3 rounds for the biggest area of cards.
Yep.
So in the first round, they're only 2 points each. By the third round, they're 4 points each for each
per card that is of same color.
In your largest group. And so I love how your mentality kind of shifts based on that over the course of the 3 rounds. This game was awesome though. We started playing this at like 11:30 that night. It was
pretty late.
It was at the end of the game night, and we played it for a while, and we were just laughing and having a good time. It was a lot of fun. The hate drafting was hilarious.
It is hilarious. And it doesn't feel bad, right?
No,
because you're like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, and you're rooting for other people to hate draft in this game, which is fun.
Well, and I love it. You're like, hey, you should probably pick
Please
that
hate
because
draft that one.
Tyler needs it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's pointing out things to help themselves, but also, help.
And it's the worst when you're the last one to pick and you're not getting the card that you want.
Yeah.
Well, and that turn order shift is unique and interesting in this game that like it feels like there's a lot of rounds where you're like, I'm kind of getting nothing. But when it gets to your turn, you have the opportunity to choose everything. And it's really fun to watch that reveal when you're first. And you're like, oh, this is great. This is great. Yeah. Or maybe it's not great. And
this is garbage. Yes. I didn't get anything.
Yeah, what a waste of going first.
Right. I've waited for so long to get the first spot, and it's awful.
Or if you're second in line to pick and you hope that there's a more valuable card for the person that's before you for them, and so the card that you want stays there. I think that's really exciting too, just to see how it plays out. But
yeah, I don't think I would have looked at this game if we hadn't gotten a copy from Pandasaurus, but I am so glad that they sent it because now we're playing games on BGA as well, which admittedly I don't think is as great of an experience because that hate draft at the table, kind of that table talk conversation is lost to some extent.
You can write a message, but it just doesn't quite hit the same.
It doesn't have the same gravitas, right?
I played this like months ago on BGA, and I was going to talk about it, and I cut it out just because we already had so many games that episode. But I'm glad we got a physical copy and have had a chance to play it as a group because it is awesome. It's a lot of fun. And it's perfect right alongside Sea Salt and Paper.
Yep.
2 great, fairly quick games to play that
about the same weight. And
both of them knock it out of the park for what they are.
Yeah. And the art on both of those games is very unique, right? This one is borderline creepy, some of the stuff, but it's really cool. I think it's done really well and it's very unique. Yeah.
I foresee us having some plays of this at Cabin Con, and I'm excited for those.
Yeah, I agree. I'll definitely be bringing this one. So I mentioned who the publisher was, Pandasaurus, but the designer is Johannes Guppy, and art is done by Sylvian Trabut. So
was that the guy that Johannes Guppy? Is he the guy that made the grilled cheese on top of the mountain?
That was Gupka.
Gupka.
A story I made up for my kids that they bring up all the time. So. I'm glad you remembered that. That's great.
I'll go next.
Yeah.
So A while ago, I reached out to Cosmos. There was a game that I saw in their lineup that was coming out called The Gang. And what interested me about this game, it is playing cooperative Texas Hold'em, okay?
Okay.
I am so glad I got to play this at game night the other night. We played 6 players. It plays 3 to 6. It was designed by John Cooper and Corey Heath. What you're trying to do by the end of the hand is order who has the strongest hand from weakest to strongest. And if you can successfully do that without communicating, other than via chips, then you win a hand. You unlock a lock. And if you fail, then you set off an alarm. If you set off 3 alarms, you fail, you lose. If you unlock 3 locks to this vault, then you win. So how you do it is the chips are numbered in order from like 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 if you're playing with 6 players. And so you get dealt your 2 cards. You got the pre-flop. You can see your cards. And you grab a chip of how strong you think your hand is going to be. And if one of the chips is taken that you wanted, like if Ben took the 1 but I have a 2 and a 3 in my hand and I want the 1 because I have the weakest hand, I'm going to take the 1 from him and then he has to take a chip from someone else, right? So once everybody has a chip that kind of indicates how strong or weak their hand is, then you do the flop and you redo the chip thing again with a new set of chips, different colors. And so you do that for the flop, you do it for the turn and the river. So the river, the 5th card comes out. You now know what your hand is going to be and how strong it is. The last set of chips are red, and those indicate your final order of where you think your hand is in the hierarchy of weak to strong, right? So if you've got nothing, then you're going to try and take the 1. If you've got a straight, you might take the 5 or the 6. If you have a full house, whatever, you're trying to pick the right strength of chip based on what you think everybody has. And if Logan had 5, 5, 5, and now he's got the 1 red chip, you know that he's got a really weak hand. He was hoping for something big and then it failed. It was really fun. So we played 3 games. When you fail a hand, you get out cards that are called specialist cards, and they give you a bonus. Like one of them was Ben had it. He could tell everybody what his strongest play was. Not saying numbers or anything, but he could say, oh, my strongest is 2 pair, right? So that was something that he could do for the rest of the game. If you win a hand, then you take out challenge cards where they penalize you and make it harder, okay? We were so terrible at this. I mean, it was a new group of 6 players. We've never played Texas Hold'em with each other. We all have different tells, and we don't know how each other plays Hold'em, right? I played with Logan, but that's about it. We were so bad. We failed miserably the first game. Second game, we failed miserably. Third game, we were like, all right, let's keep all of the specialist cards that we got from the last game. Let's take all the ones that we got from the last game. And I think you might only supposed to be playing with them for 1 round. We ended up playing them with all of them. So we had them like 5 around the table by the end of the game, and we won, but we were total cheating. I mean, we house ruled it. So I don't know.
Good thing Kevin was at the other table then, huh?
I had a really good time with this. Cooperative
you guys were
Texas,
like hooping it up over
that's
there.
what I noticed. I was going to say the same thing. There was a lot of commotion coming from
Yeah, we
table.
were like heads down in a brain burner, and you guys were just going nuts over there. So it sounded like you're having a good time.
We had a great time, it was just a lot of fun. We were so bad the first game and the second game. Like the first game, our hands weren't even close to the order. The second game, we were close, but had 1 or 2 people's hands that were slightly off. And then the third game, finally, we started to put it together, but we also had more specialty cards than we should have, and had a little help.
Is having a base knowledge of poker helpful in this game, right? I mean, probably not, right? Yeah, you have to look at the rule book,
a little bit, but it's nice because there's enough cards and info card, and on the info card is from the strongest to the weakest.
Okay, so
hands.
so there's good aids in the game.
But
to help out.
I mean, there's still a lot of probability stuff to kind of figure out and
for you.
What's coming on the flop. And,
yeah. There's definitely some advantages to playing a lot of Hold'em before attempting to play this. It didn't help that we had 6 players either. That made it really hard. If we had 3 or 4, I think it would have been a lot easier. But
it plays up to 6. It looks like, right?
Yeah, 3 to 6. So it was a blast, but we were terrible at it.
I gotta say that when you first said, even on game night on Saturday, you said it's cooperative Texas Hold'em.
You're like,
I was like, I'm out. Yeah, like no thanks. Like, you're gonna take Texas Hold'em and ruin it by making it cooperative? I don't think so. Like, I was not at all intrigued by that idea, but hearing your explanation of it, it doesn't sound like it takes away some of the things that I love about Texas Hold'em, the whole bluffing and the whole reading the table and understanding what hands you have and how that compares to potentially what your opponent has. Obviously, you're not going to try and bluff.
You're not bluffing.
You're not bluffing,
but there is that table read element.
Yes,
that
absolutely
is retained.
And you could tell Justin by far plays the most Hold'em, and there were some specialty cards where like, oh, let's give that one to Justin. He'll make the most use of that, right? So it was a lot of fun. I'm going to bring this to Cabin Con.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Yeah.
It's just going to be fun to explore more of the specialty cards and the penalty cards.
For whatever reason, it reminds me of the Mind. I don't know why.
Yeah, no,
the Crew was what I was thinking
or the Crew, possibly.
Both like a hybrid of the two with poker thrown in.
Yeah.
And I think it feels like the more you play, especially with the same group, the better you'll get.
I think that will be true, yes.
Right? Which is kind of fun. I love games like that where, I'm terrible at it to start. And then if it's cooperative, you keep playing and you get better and better at it. Yeah. I mean, that was how it was with my wife and I when we played Pandemic. We're like, this game is impossible. We can never win. And then we started winning and then put in more Epidemic cards. Then you went on the hardest level type of thing. Games like that are fun. So this sounds similar in that regard.
Yeah, hopefully Ben will get some Hold'em plays before Cabin Con. I don't know that he's ever played before. So.
Does a pair beat a straight? Yeah, that's funny. That's cool.
So this is the gang. Yeah, this was fantastic. So.
Love it. That's cool.
Well, you guys have been playing games that are more recently released. I'm going to go back to one that's been out for a while now. It was published in 2016, so it's almost 10 years old at this point.
Ancient
for a board game. For a board game? It's getting there. It's long enough that it's had a re-implementation of a different theme in there.
Oh, nice.
The game I'm talking about is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. It was re-implemented into Avatar: The Last Airbender version of this as well, which I have not played that version, but I would be curious to see how that kind of worked out. But essentially what Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle is, it's a cooperative deck building experience where you start in book 1 of Harry Potter. Harry and gang are becoming friends, mastering their wizardry and witchcraft, and they are trying to defeat enemies like Draco Malfoy, Professor Quirrell, Crabbe and Goyle, etc. And then as you progress, like each game that you win, you can add more content to this game for like book 2. So now you're going to see stuff from the Chamber of Secrets up to the Prisoner of Azkaban all the way to the final book, right? And so it's like gives you this whole perspective, and there's growth in this game that I think is really interesting, that your characters develop and increase in skills and the difficulty of the game ramps up. But essentially what you're doing is, on the very basic front end of it, is that each player is starting with 10 cards for their deck, and they're customized decks for each player. So you've got Ron, Harry, Hermione, and Neville as your playable characters, and each character has a unique kind of skill set that they're aiming towards. And then you have a card market where each round you can spend any money that you earn to purchase additional cards. Then you have a dark arts event that happens on everybody's turn. You reveal it, bad things happen. It's never a good thing. It's a dark art event. And you're trying to control a location and ensure that that Voldemort and his posse are not going and taking over that location. So each game has a series of villains that you're trying to defeat. Once you've defeated one, another one is revealed. I introduced this game to my family, my two oldest boys and my wife. We all played it together as the family.
Awesome.
And 4 of us played and sat down and experienced it. We had just watched Harry Potter recently as a family, and so they were very interested in it. My middle child was like, I want to be Harry Potter, and he was excited to experience that, and it was a fun experience to do that. But I love that this is a deck builder in which it grows with each play. So it is really good, I think, for my kids to kind of learn.
Ease them into it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
it starts off really simple and easy to understand, but still engaging enough that I have a lot of fun with it. And then it adds additional components each time. I played through this in 2016 when it first came out. I did a bunch of demos with it. I got a copy as I was working for a group that did demos. And I went to stores and demoed this to families and people and had a lot of fun with it. And then I played it with a group of friends that we went through and played through all 7 books and chapters of it, and it started to really ramp up in difficulty at a certain point in this game. That you have multiple villains that you have to face at once, and you have to make sure that you're not losing all of your health, because essentially what happens if you lose your health down to 0, you lose half of your cards rounded up in your hand, and it makes doing things incredibly difficult, and it adds like a threat essentially to the location, expediting the potential end game scenario. And you don't want to have the Voldemort take over each location or else you lose. But I've had a lot of fun with this. I'm glad to see it come back out and start playing it with my family. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good one. I've played through all of it as well. We played with some neighbors, and we just had a great time with it. I think the theme really comes through strong. If you're a Harry Potter fan, no brainer in my mind. If you're a Harry Potter fan and a deck building fan, buy this game. Buy this game right now because it's a great experience. One thing I did notice about this game is as you get further and further along in the books, the game adds quite a bit of length. You're adding a lot more cards. Yes. You have to defeat a lot more of the bad guys.
There's more locations.
There's more locations. So it does, add considerably to the length of the game. Didn't bother me at all, but that's just something to be aware of.
So once you play through it, is there any incentive or way to just play it with everything included, or are you done once you play?
No, you can play all the way through it, and it's very easily resettable. But it has dividers in it that allows you to put everything in from the game. The rule book itself has slots for every rule. It's kind of like a legacy type experience, and it's very easy to play it. And yes, you can play just game 7 with all the stuff entirely and just play that experience.
Cool.
They're all basically individual experiences that you could, if you wanted to, I don't know why you would, but like you could play game 4 just on the onset. It wouldn't be difficult to master or understand. You wouldn't be missing out. There's not any like real narrative component to it other than what's going on thematically if you've read the books.
I'm kind of interested in the Avatar one now.
No, I would very much be interested in the Avatar one. I think because Avatar goes through 4 books, right? In the series.
It's 3 because they don't do air.
You're right. They don't do air. So like you could.
I wonder how they break it out differently.
Yeah, I'd be curious too, and it would be interesting. But it is fun to see those new components added to the game.
Yeah, I love that.
Is the lightest of legacy experiences I think that is possible, and it's very approachable. But yeah, that is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle.
All right, my next one. So while Tyler was whooping it up with the gang on the other table at game night, Tyson and I had a chance to play the latest in the Next Station games. So this is Next Station Paris. So we've talked about Next Station London. We may have talked about Next Station Tokyo. This is Next Station Paris. I love this series of games. I think it's fantastic. And I think out of the 3 that have been released, I like Next Station Paris the best. I just think it does some really fun, unique things. It doesn't completely break the formula, but I think what it adds is really fun, and I really enjoy it. So, so how does this game play? So it's a flip and write game. Everybody has a paper in front of them that has a bunch of different routes, and then 4 starting stations. And then everybody takes one colored pencil, and based on the colored pencil that you have, that's the station you're going to start at. There is a deck of cards that get flipped over. You flip over that card, and it has a shape of a station that you can visit next. So you start at the green station, for example, and the triangle station gets revealed. You have to connect to a triangle station, and there's usually 1 or 2 options that you can choose from. You draw that line, you flip over another card, and then based on that station that gets revealed, you draw another segment of your track, either at the start or at the end of your current route that you're building. That's pretty much the whole game. You flip over all of the cards until you get 5 blue cards. Then that signals the end of the round. I think there's 12 cards total. So the round could end by flipping over 5 cards, or it could end by flipping over 12 cards. You don't know how long it's going to take for any particular round. You do that for 4 rounds. Whoever has the most points wins. The way you get points is you're trying to get the most stops in a particular segment, and you're trying to expand and visit multiple segments. I forget what they're called. Districts. Yep. Thank you. Most in one district, and then you're trying to get visit a bunch of different districts. You're trying to get, and this is one of the difference, you're trying to visit monuments. Monuments are wild spaces, so you can go there with any card that gets flipped over. You're trying to get to the corners. The corners are just these little squares. Once you get there, then we played, it's one of the variants in the game where you can get a bonus and an immediate bonus, which I thought was one of my favorite parts of the game, right? Like you visit one of them and you immediately get to draw 2 segments, which is amazing.
Huge. It like expands that round a lot. It reminded me of like any game that does combo actions because it felt like a combo.
Right.
It was really cool.
And you did that very well, right?
I did maximize that.
And you figured out quickly that it's like, wow, I can visit this multiple times, right?
Yep.
And I think you did a few times, which was really cool. There's shared objectives, which is a lot of fun, right? If the one of them that we played with is if you fill in all the stops in one area, then you fulfill that objective, you get 10 points at the end of the game. Another little twist is there's Paris right in the middle, and you can always go there. It's always a wild spot, and it's considered a district. And then you can branch out from there, the central spot in Paris, and go anywhere else, right? Which was really cool. And it allowed you to expand more easily, get to other sides of the map more easily. I just thought that was kind of a unique twist as well. The thing that I like most about Next Station Paris and all of the games in this series, it solves a problem in flip and write or roll and write games in my mind, because a lot of times, if you think about Railroad Inc., for example, everybody starts the same and everybody's going off the shared roll, right? So you could look around the table and everybody's doing the same thing, right? This game, everybody starts at a different station, a different color. So there is no way any 2 are going to be the same or start the same, which I think is genius. That's really such a cool design, right?
Yeah. Well, and each time you switch rounds, you're going to change colors, which means that no 2 people are going to have the same routes in the same order, which further diversifies that whole possibility, right? Like, I think agreed. Totally genius implementation of how to ensure that that you don't have somebody copying the same thing. There's been some flip and rights or roll and rights where I didn't know what I was doing, and I looked at like other people's boards and I was like, that seems like the right play right now. I'm going to do that one.
Confessions.
Oh yeah.
I eventually diversified, but it was particular. I think was it Trois Dice that I did that in?
Yeah.
And maybe even because I'm so terrible at the game Railroad Inc., I've tried to copy people's
it clearly didn't help you
paths and then be like, okay, I got this now, and I clearly don't got this.
Yeah. Yes, I just think it's a really smart design decision. This game is just one of those relaxing, fun games to play, right? And I really enjoy it.
I love this series of games. I'm so glad that they continue to bring out additional variants in this game and that they make them unique enough that it's worthwhile owning all of them. I've played all of them at this point. Next Station London, Tokyo, and Paris. I've played London 26 times. I've played Tokyo 7 times, and now I've played Paris 1 time. After one play of Paris, I think that it has it contends for the best in this series. Yeah. I can't say that after one play, but I'm very excited to play it. I wish this one were on PGA so that I could get some more experience out of it, but it's great.
Yeah, it's a good one. I'm excited to play it more. I think this one will end up at CapCon as well.
I certainly hope so.
Awesome.
All right, so that's Next Station Paris.
Nice. I am excited to play that one. I hope that I am at the right table when that comes out at CapCon.
We can probably arrange that. Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah,
I don't want to waste a pick on it, but
I mean, there's going to be times where there's a longer game getting played, and we can just squeeze in some of these shorter ones.
Yeah.
So
we could even get Tyson to play Undaunted.
We could. Do you want to play that?
I'm going to slap somebody.
All right. So the next game that I am going to talk about is thematic for October.
Nice.
This is called Cadaver.
Oh.
It came out in 2016. It's an old one. Published by Cheatwell Games. It is designed by Kedrick Winks, and the art is done by Augustinus.
Careful.
Rajanskis. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to say that name.
Pretty sure you got it right.
But I love the art. That is
nice.
One of my favorite parts about this game. It's a really simple card game. You are trying to reanimate as many corpses as you can to score the most points.
Frankenstein.
So there's a stack of like 110 cards. You start out with a few cards in your hand, and on your turn that goes around clockwise, you're going to do 3 phases. You're going to lay down 1 or 2 cards. You're going to then draw back up to 5 cards in your hand, and then you can optionally trade other people for cards. So when you lay down cards, you can lay down corpses, and they each have some combination of brains, scrolls, or potions, okay? So those are some of the cards that you can draw, are some of those resources. In the stack are corpses, resources, and accomplices, and then there's some specialty cards. And so on your turn, you're trying to get corpses out. You're trying to get them the required resources that they need so that you can reanimate them and put them into your scoring pile. However, other players may be able to steal one of your corpses. Some of the specialty cards are a ghoul, and when you lay a ghoul, it allows you to take any single corpse or accomplice, okay? So if Logan's close to finishing a corpse that needs 3 brains, and then I steal that corpse with a ghoul, it's now my corpse to reanimate. There are also accomplices that let you draw from a specific resource pile. Otherwise, when you draw back up to 5, you have to just draw randomly from the deck. So if you get accomplices out, then you can start drawing what you need: scrolls, potions, brains, etc. However, if somebody plays a coffin on one of those stacks, it locks it, and you cannot draw from that until you unlock it. Somebody unlocks it with a key card. Likewise, someone can put a coffin on one of your corpses that you are working on and lock it before you have to unlock it before you can finish that corpse and reanimate her. So some fun things going on there. So you're going around in a circle until the deck exhausts, and then the game is over, and you do final scoring, and you get points based off of sets of corpses and sets of different corpses, and then any corpses left over you score points for. So really lightweight game. Some take that. You're stealing corpses, you're stealing accomplices. The art is awesome in this game, and I think that's probably my favorite part. It's a lightweight game, perfect, very thematic for the season. My family all seemed to like it more than I did, but...
Wait a minute, you said the art is your favorite part of the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like the art the most, but the art is awesome.
It does look really good. I like it.
But
Usually
like
when
said,
you say the art's your favorite part of the game, it's not a great game.
So, I mean, I like it. I would happily play this every Halloween season. And my family liked it more than I did. So I'm sure we'll get this to the table again. It's basic set collection with some take that and just play until the deck is exhausted and you're trying to get as many sets as you can of different corpses.
That's cool. I mean, I have games like that too, where I love to play those games because my family loves to play those games, right? And I would happily play them at any time, even though it wouldn't be my first choice, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. I love it.
It does play up to 6 players, so I kind of want to play this at CabinCon just to, and it has that that element just to see if it has that same kind of feel to it that Pixies does, that just kind of elevates the play
with a higher player count.
With a higher player count.
Why do I get the feeling that we're running into the issue of our first CabinCon where all the games from your collection is going to end up in CabinCon?
Well,
it'd be like for the first year we went.
Yeah,
everybody
we had like 200 games.
Exactly. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, this is a 20-minute game, so... You know.
And it's not going to take up much space in the bag.
Right. So. I got frunk space and we can
load it up.
I'm sure we're going to drive down multiple cars, so
I think
it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, and with it being so close this year, you can go up and down and grab more games.
I do like that it's going to be closer.
I do too. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cadaver. I like it.
That is Cadaver.
Nice.
Well, I guess we're going to stick with this era of like 2016 because my next game I'm talking about is in 2018 when it was published. It is Newton. It's designed by Simone Luciani and Nestor Mangone.
Oh, okay.
Art is done by Clemens Franz, and it's published by Cranio Creations.
It's a lot of heavy hitters there.
There's some names there you might recognize, right?
Yep.
On all fronts, art, publishing, and designers. I specifically wanted to look at this game and try it out because I've been loving Darwin's Journey lately, and both Simone Luciani and Nestor Mangone were the ones who designed that game. So I said, okay, well, Newton is on BGA. Let me see if I can figure out this game and play it a little bit. And one of our listeners from Discord, Tyler, had said he would help me learn the game. So he started a game with me and we started playing, and now we're playing another game, and I've played a couple of games at this point, and I'm really enjoying it. But essentially what this game is that it is a game of action selection. Each player is given a player board, similar to kind of what you'd see in Darwin's Journey, that has multiple things that you can work with. On your player board is a number of card slots. There are 5 different spots per round, and every round you're going to be playing 5 cards from your hand to be able to take actions. On the cards are symbols that correspond with different spots on boards. So you have a maps board, and then you have a couple of other boards and a market area where you can purchase additional cards. So what you're trying to do is you have meeples that are moving around on these different tracks, and you're moving your items around to collect different things. Every card that you play, like I said, has a specific symbol on it that corresponds with one of these areas of play that you're trying to get to. And so you're playing a card down. Each time that you play a card down, though, the symbol that you leave on the board is left there so that you can activate it in later rounds. So the more symbols of a specific type you have of displaying, you're going to take stronger actions. So if you do the same type of thing where you're moving your meeple on the map board, if you only have one symbol, it can move one space. But if you have multiple symbols, it starts to move further and further. And there are wild cards, and there are other cards that you can purchase that have kind of combo effects on them that you're starting to do different things.
That's what I was going to ask you, if there's combos in this game.
Well, absolutely. So like some of those are going to get you additional points and do different things, but some are going to enable you to do additional things on your board. There's not a whole lot of like action upon action upon action, kind of like Darwin's Journey that you're used to, just like this cascade effect of a lot of things, but it does make you feel that similar feeling of being more and more powerful, the different types of things that you're doing.
So a good escalation in
Absolutely.
the game. Nice.
And I really love this this card play mechanism that's going on, because you're playing all those cards out, and so by the fifth turn of the round, you have 4 other cards that you've already played, and there are symbols that exist on your board already that you can utilize. And so it feels like, okay, which card do I want to play last in the round, because it will be my most powerful action to be able to do something. And at the end of the round, each time, you have to take a card from your hand that you've played that round and slot it under your board so that the symbol is showing for the remainder of the game. There are 6 rounds total, and so by the 6th round, it's similar to that end of a round feeling, but by the end of the 6th round, not only are you playing the 5th card at the last one, but you have all the cards stacked up that can do a ton of action, so you feel really powerful in being able to do whatever you want. I think it's a really fun way to play. It's definitely lighter than Darwin's Journey in the way that it plays, and it's easier to understand and play through, but it also has some of the similar kind of feelings that you have of like building out specific things and getting objectives. On your player board on top of it, there are these books, that symbols that you're trying to unlock, where they're going to score each row and column that you have completed, that you've put a book on the bookshelf essentially, and if you have a completed row or column, it's going to score points, or you can get additional tokens on the player board or on the map and things like that, so that you can add different things so that every time it scores, it's going to give you additional bonuses and things like that. So it feels, again, similar to what these two designers are accustomed to in giving you additional stuff the more you work towards it, and I really like that.
Yeah, and the fact that it's a little bit lighter, it probably scratches a different itch, right?
Oh, it does.
And it probably makes it a little bit more accessible to introduce to new people, I would imagine, right? Because Darwin's Journey, fantastic game. I think we all love that game, but it's a little intimidating to get into, right?
It's a bit meaty, right? Like there's a lot to do. I feel like I didn't really like read the rules for Newton. I ended up asking questions. I watched a playthrough video, and I asked Tyler some questions about, okay, how does this type of thing interact? And without much understanding, it all started to click as I went through and played it. And then I asked for additional pointers and tips, and he was able to give me some ideas about how to go forward. And it made it very easy to understand, which was really nice to have that kind of experience on BGA, as opposed to like I've played bigger games and just felt lost forever without understanding it. But I'm feeling like I'm competitive in the games I'm playing, at least a little bit. Maybe not the best, but I like what this game is doing, and I'm excited to explore it more. I think it's a fun experience, and it's not overly difficult to kind of grasp.
Yeah, I had the chance to buy this game a few years ago for a crazy good deal, like 50% off. And I was just going back and forth. Should I do it? Should I not do it? I ended up not getting it. Kind of wishing I would have got it, right?
It would be a good one to have, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would get some play in our group.
For sure. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, it's on BGA. So
got to check it out there.
It's worth, I think, learning and trying it out there.
Nice. Does anybody in our group have this?
Not that I know
think
of.
Anybody does.
I wonder if Ben does.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't.
Maybe, but
it's Clemens Franz, and I love Clemens Franz art, but I don't know that
Ben does.
It falls into his. Ooh, that's pretty enough for me to buy without really knowing much about the game.
It's a nice looking apple.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe.
I mean, Clemens Franz didn't he do Orleans as well? He's done tons of different things. He's done. He did Orleans, he did Caverna, Agricola, Grand Austria Hotel, Clans of Caledonia.
I'm pretty sure he did Clans.
Clans.
Yeah. So he did all of those, which are I wouldn't say like they're the most beautiful artwork, but they have their own kind of charm.
Yeah, style and charm.
You definitely recognize the style.
Yeah, I like
absolutely.
it, but I just don't think that that's the one that Ben would look at and be like, I need this game just because it's pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Newton.
I like it. All right, so you guys think you're talking about some old games here, back from 2016. Right? So the one I'm going to talk about came out in 2003.
All right.
So,
us little whippersnappers over here can't keep up with you.
Young little whippersnappers. So what? This is 21 years old. This is an old game. Yeah. It is Hey, That's My Fish. Okay, this is designed by Gunter Cornet and Alvidas Jacquelunas.
Was almost as good as Cadaver pronunciation.
That's what I was just thinking about, Tyler, trying to pronounce the Cadaver names. Anyway, and the version that I have was produced by Fantasy Flight. I think there's been various versions throughout the years. It has been out for 21 years. This game is super simple. I got this out with my kids and played it over the weekend, and we just had a blast with it. So the way that this works is you have a number of hexes, and you lay those hexes out. There's 7 in one row, 8 in another row, and you just make a rectangular board of these hexes. Now, all the hexes will either have 1, 2, or 3 fish on them. And then everybody gets a number of penguins, depending on how many people are in the game. And in turn order, you place your penguins on the board on a hex that has 1 fish on it. Okay. So everybody's going to have their penguins out there. Then when it's your turn, you take your penguin and you move it in a straight line, and it has to be on the edge, a line that's on the edge of one of the hex that you're on, and a straight line until you want to stop, or you're forced to stop because there's another penguin, or there's a gap in the tile has already been taken. Okay. Then you pick up the hex that you are on, and you're going to score points at the end of the game based on how many fish are on that hex. So you're trying to get the tiles that have 3 fish on them. Those are the most valuable. You're trying to block other players because the game is over for you if you cannot move any of your penguins anymore. Okay. So it's really fun because you're looking at the board state, you're looking at other players, you're trying to block them off, you're trying to put them in bad situations so they can't move. You're trying to isolate yourself so that you can only go after the high value tiles. It's kind of a fun tactical game, and it's kind of funny when you put somebody else in a bad position. My daughter got mad at me. She wasn't really mad at me, but she's like, you just completely cut me off of this whole side of the board. And I'm like, yep, I did. That's what I was trying to do. So it's just a really simple, fun game that is quick to play. It's like 20 minutes. And I think it offers some fun strategy and fun experiences.
I had a pun for that you inadvertently said. I said you're essentially going to isolate them. But you said it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Penguin.
Penguin.
Ping dong.
Yeah.
So is it mean, or like when you block somebody out and like isolate them, because it sounds like it's a player elimination of sorts.
Yeah.
How long is somebody like sitting out? How quick of a game is this?
20 minutes. So it's not a long game at all. So my middle daughter, she's 11. She got knocked out first, but she got knocked out a turn before everybody else.
She got iced.
She got iced a turn before everybody else did. So it wasn't, you're not out for very long, maybe 5 minutes at the most, if that. But it's good. It's good family game.
It's a little pricey.
Glad we broke it out. Is it out of print?
No. Well, the newer versions, like on Amazon and other places, are like $35.
Okay.
A little pricey.
I've got this really small, it almost looks like a travel version, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure this one's not still in print, the one that I have, but
I'm looking at one on BGG that looks like, I don't know if this is upgrade, and it looks like maybe there's a 3D printed grid that you can put the tiles in.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Is there a version out there that has that, and that's why it's pricier?
I don't know. I couldn't find. Yeah.
For as light as this game is, I don't think I would want an overproduced version, right? I'm perfectly happy with the one that I have. That's just the style of game it is and the weight of the game. But it's a good one. I played a ton of this app. So there's an app, and I played a lot of that for a while. So
is it coming to Cabin Con?
Probably not. It could, but I think there's probably other games I'd want to play. But I'm glad I got it out, and it was a hit with my kids. We'll be playing it more in the near future, which I think is great. So that is, hey, that's my fish.
So I've got one more game to talk about, and then I think that wraps up what we've been playing lately.
Right.
This is Radlands. Radlands.
Nice.
From Roxley. It's designed by Daniel Peachnick. There are a number of artists. One of the names that I recognize is Manny Tremblay.
Okay.
This is a lightweight two-person card battler game. And it's really cool. It's futuristic, post-apocalyptic bands of punks fight to destroy each other's camps. So you get dealt a number of camps at the beginning of the game, and you get to pick 3 of them. And each one of them has a unique ability or more than one ability. And those are your 3 camps for the game, and you put the camp deck aside. I think it's just really quick. There are 34 camp cards, so there's tons of variability in this game. It's an $18 game. I was surprised that this was so cheap. I always thought it was a little bit more than that.
Well, they have a kind of a deluxeified version of this, I think.
I think so. There is a new expansion that is on for pre-order right now that I believe was crowdfunded last year or earlier this year. Anyway, you have these 3 camps, and you're trying to destroy the other person's camps, okay? If you do a damage to one of the camps, you turn it on its side. If you do a second damage by playing different cards and using different abilities, then you will destroy that camp. Or there are some more powerful nuke type things, and you can just flat out destroy stuff. So you can destroy a camp in one turn potentially. Basically, you have a hand of cards. The cards are people and event cards, and you have the row of 3 camps in front of you. You can place people in a row in front of that, and there's a 3rd row at the top. So if you put one person in one column in front of a camp, you can either put your next person next to that guy or in front of them on the top row. Okay. So you're basically trying to line up people to some of your punks to protect the camp. Each of the people have cards. They also have a trash, kind of like in 51st State, when you raise something, you get a reward. In this, you also get rewards when you junk a card. Okay, so each of your cards have junk rewards. The basic how you pay for things or how you pay to get cards out is you start out each turn with 3 water, and cards have costs, whether they're events or people to put out. They have costs of water. The actions on the cards also have costs of water. Something that's really cool, when you play an event card, it'll tell you to put it in the bottom row, middle row, top row, or just to activate it immediately. Really cool. So you have kind of a delayed event type system. At the start of every turn, you move your events forward, and eventually after they get to the top, when they would move forward again, they will activate. So you can build for future turns. There's also a raid card that lets you attack another player's camp, and that card is easier to get into the events side and then slowly progress it, sometimes by junking cards that have that raid ability on them. So basically, you're just going back and forth trying to eliminate the other player's cards so that you can get to their camps and wipe out their camps before they wipe out yours. Something that else is cool, there are symbols or rewards that let you draw punk cards, and you basically take a card off the top of the deck and you put it face down in your camp or in front of your camps, and those punks can take a damage. If they take a damage, they go back to the deck on top, and you don't look at it. But there are abilities on some of the cards that let you flip over a punk. I had a really cool combo. I had a camp that let me get out a bunch of face-down punks, and then another camp that let me retrieve all the punks in front of me and add them to my hand. So my hand size grew very quickly, and then I had a ton of things I could junk, which you can do for free. And so I had a really powerful turn, and it was just a lot of fun. I love this game. Logan is a master at Unmatched. This game, he hasn't gotten to that point yet. We haven't seen all the cards yet. I still have a chance to hold my own, and we've played a couple times, and it's a blast. I really like it.
How many times have you caught him studying the cards?
I have not let him do that yet.
But he's wanted to, I'm sure.
Yeah. And this reminds me, this has a little bit more going on than Mindbug does, which is another similar space, 2-player battler. I think I like this a little bit more. I'm definitely going to pick up the expansion. I love the art style. It's got this kind of like neon,
it's cool.
Apocalyptic art.
Yeah,
and it's
very
really
vibrant colors.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a picture of the Napalm card right now, and it's like got an explosion of skeletons like with stark black in it, but then it's got these pinks and yellows and oranges that are just really, really pretty. I like it a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, that is Radlands. I am so happy I picked this up. It was $17 or $18 at Game Nerds.
Got you the free shipping threshold, I'm sure.
Yeah, added this and Cadaver to get me to where I needed to go. So
I remember when this was crowdfunding and looking at it, and because it was Roxley, like I like Roxley, and I like their games and their like the Iron Clays, right? So I was like very curious about this one. I just didn't pull the trigger for whatever reason.
I didn't either.
I think the big reason for me is it's a 2-player game, and I have a hard time tabling those just me.
Yeah, so Lincoln's getting there, though.
He's getting there, yeah.
Playing Onitama the other day.
Onitama, and he played Battlecrest. Yeah, like I think that we're on the cusp of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I saw that it was Roxley. I love Roxley games. Dice Throne, Brass.
Dice Throne's fantastic.
Skyrise.
Yeah.
I mean, and so when I saw how cheap it was, because I thought it was more of a...
Yeah.
I just never really looked at it. I thought it was more of a medium-size, big box game, and it's not. It's a little tiny card game. I had to take out the insert so I could sleeve my cards, but fantastic, great game from Roxley. So no surprises there, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
It's a lot of great games.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some other great games.
Maybe
that maybe we are not good at.
You guys go first.
Because you still have to narrow down your list.
You said you had 15. Now figure out which ones are staying.
All right. I mean, I'm ready to go. So.
I just need to finalize my order here.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. No worries.
No, I think this will be good. So I'm curious. How did you end up coming up with this list? I've already kind of alluded to how I came up with my list, but what were some of your criteria for this list?
My main criteria was win percentage and how low it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with me still enjoying the game and liking the game.
Yep.
And like wanting to play it more.
That's
right?
kind of how I approached it.
That's how I approached it.
Yeah.
I sorted by win percentage, scrolled all the way down to the bottom on BG stats, started working my way up until I got past the more than 4 or 5 plays games.
Yep. That's about where I ended up too. So it's good. I think that we'll probably see some overlap potential here, as we play a lot of the same games together. But
usually one of us is winning.
Somebody has to be winning.
Right? The overlap is...
I don't know if we're going to have any overlap. I don't know.
We'll see. I know that I'm losing the games you guys are good at, so that may be part of it here.
All right, I'll go. All right, I've played this game 24 times. All but one of the plays has been on BGA.
Okay.
This game we've done a feature review of. Any guesses? No.
Carnegie.
No, not Carnegie. That's a good one.
Railways.
I think I suck at that game too. Railways. No, this is Barrage.
Better than that at Railways.
You know what? I have not been winning Railways.
He's not doing
much.
so great in the game we're playing right now.
I think I started
the game
strong.
without me.
I started strong in Railways, like when we first started playing it, and man, it's been downhill since then. Maybe that should have made the list. I don't know. But the game I chose is Barrage. Barrage, I've played, like I mentioned, 24 times. I have 4 victories in this game. That's a 17% win,
Are they all
win
against
rate.
Mark and I?
Probably. And that's the funny thing, right? Is I think my victories are against you and Mark, and you guys were just clicking buttons, right? Like it was, I was the one that knew the most about the game.
Yeah, and then
at
we
that
got to
point.
play, and then you were still beating us. We played on the table.
We
and
played on the
figured it
table
out.
one time, and then I beat you that one time. Every other time I've played, I've lost this game, and it's. So I've talked about it before. I have a love-hate relationship with this game. Maybe because I'm not very good at it, but I really enjoy playing it. And it's very satisfying when you can get it to work, right? So when you get your network and you get the water to flow from dam to dam, and you get you get the bonuses from the contracts that you fulfill. You get free stuff out on the board. When you get that engine going, it's just really cool. When you get the wheel to actually move and get your stuff back, which is mind-blowing when you first start playing this game. You're like, how the heck am I going to get my resources back, right?
This game is not comfortable. It is a struggle. It is a mind-boggling struggle.
It is a mind-boggling struggle. But when you get that struggle to work, I think, like personally, I think it's a very satisfying experience. It can be frustrating, but I think it's very satisfying. And it keeps bringing me back to the game because I'm like, I'm not very good at this game, but I think I can get better at it, right? I'm not there yet, obviously, because it's on the list, but I still enjoy it. I enjoy that puzzle.
It has the same allure to me as, you remember the old Windows like 95 game Pipe Dream?
Oh, okay.
Like where you made the connecting pipes.
Sure. Yeah.
So that like the liquid would flow down in the right way.
Yeah.
It's got similar vibes of that to me. Or I mean, Pipeline actually is a board game. It does the same type of stuff.
Sure.
But
yeah.
I'm bad at this game too, and I think I've stopped playing because of how bad I am until I can play it at the table.
I have 1 win out of 6 games, and I don't remember that win. I thought it was going to be 0. For me, the game is very challenging. I like this game.
Yeah.
But it's brutal in 2 ways.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to make everything work for you
Yep.
is one way. And then on top of that, you got freaking people stealing your waterway and blocking off, taking your water rights.
Yeah, siphoning it away from you.
Yes,
and you've worked so hard to get that built up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it feels like both people are going after you. And it can be very brutal.
It can be. It can be.
I'm very surprised and proud of my 1 win.
You should be proud.
Paying attention to your own stuff going on is hard enough in this game. When you have to pay attention to everything else everybody else is doing, makes it increasingly more difficult.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like this game anymore.
I get it. It is a difficult game to like. And I think we've had discussions on Discord about this. And there's some other people that are the same opinion, right? It's like, I don't like this game much. But I don't know. I keep getting drawn back to it. And I keep starting games on BGA and keep losing at games on BGA. But it's got something that I really enjoy. So I'll keep playing it. I'll keep losing. Maybe if we do this list in another year or 2, it'll not qualify anymore.
You'll finally have cracked the code.
Yeah, I'll finally have cracked the code. We'll see. But all right, that's my number. I guess we're gonna call it 5. Number 5.
Number 5.
Barrage. Yep.
Have you sorted all of yours yet?
You can go.
All right, I'll go.
But I am ready.
My number 5 is similar to Kevin. One I've played on the table twice, and one that I've played in total 11 times. My win percentage at this game is 18%.
Okay.
So I've won it 2 times.
Nice. Congratulations.
I think those were actually my table plays. I think I won it. We played at Cabin Con one year. Rajas of the Ganges.
Okay.
Oh.
I am not good at this game.
I love this game.
I lose.
I want
single
somebody
time.
else to bring this to Cabin Con.
Yeah.
Somebody bring it.
I don't have a copy.
I do.
I guess
You have all the stuff, though.
I have 2 goodie boxes.
I don't have the goodie boxes,
Okay, I'll
so
bring
I think you got to bring it. I love this game. Like, it is fun and rewarding. I love that there is comboing in this game that makes me feel like, hey, I just did a lot of really good things on this turn by putting this here. Or I love building out my tiles and then seeing how many of them when I can go to the market and utilize the different resources on each tile, how that'll gain me a lot of money because I have 3 unique ones or I have a bunch of them, right? And I love that. I just haven't figured it out. The last game that we played, we were playing 2 games at the same time on Yukata.
Right.
Kevin was like destroying us on one of the games, and I was like, well,
was so close.
And the other one, we were very close at that last one. I was like, I got a shot here. I actually have a shot.
But I did not. It's actually going to happen.
I did not win. I did not. Like, Kevin took the last turn, and then I saw the email come in that said you lost, and I was really sad.
thought the same thing. I was like, oh, I've got maybe one more turn, and then Kevin had.
But it was close for all of us because we were right there on that top left corner of the board, and for those who don't know, that you have 2 scoring tokens that are trying to converge, and when they converge, that's what triggers the end game.
Right.
So we were all in striking distance,
we were.
essentially, which was a fun game. I love that about it, is that like there's questions because there are big swings in how you're going to do it, and you don't necessarily know how somebody's going to pull a big swing, and that's fun.
I love the river and selling your boat and getting bonuses from the boat. I love working it out where you get a bunch of dice and you have a bunch of options. I think that's super satisfying and super fun. When you're on the other side of that,
I was going to say conversely, it's bad when you realize that I just accidentally used my last dice and I didn't get any more from this. This is a bad situation to be in.
So managing that is super interesting and super fun. Yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, I love Rajas.
So that's my number 5, Rajas of the Ganges.
Nice.
All right, my number 5, I have a 7% win ratio.
Oh, okay.
I've won 1 of 14 plays. Okay. This game came out in 1989. It is a Sid Saxon game. Oh. It is Can't Stop Express. Oh. I love this game.
Okay, yeah.
It's on BGA. It's a roll and write. You roll 5 dice. And everybody's trying to figure out where to put those values on their card. My average score in this game is negative 149 points. My highest score is 220. Okay, so generally I'm scoring in the negative. When you start filling in numbers, you immediately go to negative 200 points. And it is not until you get to your 5th that it is now worth 0. And then anything beyond your 5th is worth points. And you know, if it's a 2, they're worth 100 points extra at that point. If it's a more common number like 7, they're only worth 30 extra points. So you immediately go insanely into the hole. And then it's just whoever can get back to breaking even almost to win the game by the time somebody causes the game to end by filling in their 5th dice rows, then the game ends, and whoever has barely more than 0 points wins. I love this game. It's a push your luck game. It's a good twist on Can't Stop, but I'm terrible at it.
You start writing a lot of checks that you just can't cash, or you're hoping that maybe one day I'll be able to cash these checks, but who knows? Did I just write too many of them, and now I'm really in trouble?
Yeah, I've got 5 plays of this one with 1 victory. I'm so much better at this game than you are.
At least 13% better.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the game on my list that probably has the most randomness, but I am still terrible at it. So that is Can't Stop Express.
All right. So my number 4, I have a lot of plays of this game before BG stats. So I don't have exact percentages of how bad I am at this. I played 28 total plays. This game is it's a Tom Lehman game. Okay. Roll for the Galaxy. Okay. This is an engine builder. It's my favorite game in the Race for the Galaxy series. I played this just a ton with my wife. My wife is really good at engine builders. Anytime I play an engine builder with her, she seems to win. So I introduced 51st State to her and she won.
Rolled over you.
She did, right? So she's just really good at just finding the synergies and doing really well at these engine builders. And Roll for the Galaxy is no exception. So I went through probably a stretch of 10 games where I lost and there were two-player games with her. But every time I played, it was still fun, right? I loved rolling the dice. I love how you have that shield there and you place the dice and then it's the big reveal and you're trying to guess what the other player is going to select so you can leech off their actions. I don't do it well, but I think it's a fun exercise and it's fun to try to figure that out. The dice are, it's just they're cool colors. The production's great. It's a Tom Lehman game. If you listen to this podcast for any amount of time, I love most of his designs, right? But I'm not very good at the game. I don't know what it is, but it's still super fun.
I'm not good at Tom Lehman games. I've played Roll for the Galaxy twice. I've lost both times.
Right.
But I mean, I've also played a lot of Res Arcana, and my win percentage on Res is 18%. 22 plays, 4 wins. Okay. I'm not good at Tom Lehman games.
Is that your number 4?
That is not my number 4.
It could have made the list.
I think I'm 0 for 7 on New Frontiers.
Oh, New Frontiers. I have a pretty good win rate on New Frontiers.
I'm 4 for 10 on Roll for the Galaxy. So
that's pretty
40%.
good. 40% is good.
Not bad.
Res, I have 36 wins out of 87 plays, so 41%.
Yeah, so a lot better.
That's good. That's most impressive.
I think, honestly, if we're talking about win percentages in board games, depending on how many players you've got, a 40%
is not bad.
Is actually really good, I think.
Yeah, so New Frontiers, I've got 18 games played and 9 victories.
Ooh.
So that's...
That and 500.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? Let's see if I can find Res. Res, 58 plays with 31 victories.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Approaching 60%.
Yeah, so I'll take that.
Nice.
But apparently, Roll is not that way for me. So
I know I'm 0 for 2 on Race for the Galaxy.
Yeah, in face-to-face plays.
Yeah.
Because we played at Origins and
it
didn't end well for you.
No, I wanted to flip the table.
You got to give it another shot, right? Okay, you play Race for the Galaxy. I'll play Acquire.
Oh, okay.
I'll play both of those games with each of you, but not flipped. I won't play the Race with you, Kevin, and I won't play Acquire with you, Tyler.
You're not going to get sucked into this. All right. So that's my number 4 is Roll for the Galaxy.
So my number 4 is one that I'm pretty sure one of the main reasons that my win percentage is so low is because Kevin's is probably so high at this game. The game that I am talking about is one that I love. It's exactly my style of game, exactly what I want to play, especially in a lighthearted way. It is Skull.
Oh, okay.
I've played Skull 7 times. These are all table plays, and I've won 1 time out of that 7 time. So I've got a 14% win rate on Skull.
Solid.
And here I think, I usually think I can read people pretty well, and I love those bluffing kind of card games. And this game just spits in my face every time because I'm like, oh, I got this. No, I do not. I do not got this. I flipped the wrong thing every time. And I just love the experience, though. It's such a fun experience. You have all these coasters in front of you. You're trying to make these bids. You're choosing how many you can flip. But it's less about knowing where the right ones are sometimes, I think, and being able to make sure somebody else doesn't get enough to do it. And Kevin likes to do the whole, I'm going to go for, if there are 7 things on the table, I'm going to go for 6. What are you going to do about it? And I try
or sometimes it's 7, boom, nobody can outbid me, and then you just try and play. And the fun thing about the game is trying to pick the time.
When does that work?
Because sometimes it works, and most often it doesn't work. But
clearly, I don't pick the right times is what I'm getting at with this game.
Yeah.
I love the experience. I love the interaction that goes on at the table. It's a great game.
I played this the other day and I saw something that I've never seen before. I played with Logan and a couple of his friends, and somebody it got down to where everybody just had a couple tiles left, or maybe one or two left, and Logan's friend put his skull down, called the number that nobody else could beat, and then flipped the skull. So he was out, but then he got to go first. And by claiming turn order, he was able to secure the win because he knew what everybody else had. And it just played out really interestingly.
Well, did he flip his over first?
He did.
How did he know what everybody else had?
Because they were down to the last one.
Because he knew that the skulls were all gone, right?
Okay.
And so on his next turn, he said 3, and there was 3 people playing, and he knew that they all had to be flowers because,
that's all they had left.
That's all they had left, right?
Oh, okay.
So he caused himself to lose the
battle to win the war.
Yeah, I mean, he forced his turn to be able to go first next, and he knew that everybody else had already lost all their skulls. So he put down a flower and immediately bid 3, and there was 3 at the table, and nobody could outbid him, so he got to flip them and won.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe that breaks the game a little bit, or maybe there's
That's strategy.
Yeah, it was very
not.
It was. Like I
considered
said, I was
before.
very impressed by it.
Wow.
I have 7 wins out of 22 of this game. 22 plays.
What's percentage is that?
31%.
Okay. I have 60 plays. What do you guys think my percentage win rate is? You may be surprised.
I'm going to go
18.
33.
26%. So I've won 16 times. I tend to either do well or crash and burn and lose all my stuff. So
You're pushing your luck.
I'll push my luck. That's what this game. This game's a push
you
your
have
luck game.
a higher rate of winning, both of you, than I do, which is why it made my list.
Nice.
That's
Love
my
it.
number 4, Skull.
I think there's another train game at some point on somebody's list here, but I'm going to
That's
go.
not coming on my list. We're not talking about that game.
We're not?
No.
Imperial Steam? Like what are we talking about? Oh, of course.
You didn't put that
That
on your
has
list?
to be on your list.
Games that we love.
Oh,
Okay.
it didn't meet one of the criteria.
I don't hate the
I
game.
still want to know the stats on it.
I've got it.
Okay. So Railways of the World.
Okay. Yeah.
I have 33 plays, and I have only won 7 times. That is 21%.
Okay.
I feel that is pretty low.
Yeah.
And a lot of those losses definitely have been on BGA.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up my stats.
I've got a total of 36 plays with 14 wins, so I'm at 38% win.
Way better. That's a way better win percentage.
38. Okay.
So yeah, Railways of the World, building out your network, trying to deliver cubes, competing for locations, and depending on which map you're playing, can get very competitive.
We're playing right now. Kevin and I are in a game on the Mexico map, which is a lot smaller map, but we're playing with 4 people on that map, and it is tight.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. And I thought I was doing okay.
You started off pretty strong.
I did, but
you ran out of steam, maybe.
Yeah, but I had like a monopoly on the top of the map and all of those cubes, and nobody else was going after them. I'm like, okay, I can totally get this. And then I realized that there's too many of the same colors up there, and I wasn't able to, increase my engine size and maximize all of that, and not doing great.
Yeah. So, this is one of those games where you can get locked out of being able to be effective at all later on in the game. And if that happens, you're just hoping for the game to end.
Well, and it's that balance of how many bonds do I take out versus how many do I need to be able to do stuff, and do I have enough resources to do things? And that's the tricky things here, because you can put yourself in those situations where I've just ruin myself.
As long as you don't take out so many bonds that you're having to take out more bonds to pay
your bonds,
interest.
Than your income.
Like, Matt. Kevin's brother-in-law has had some notoriously bad games there. Maybe I'm not that bad at this game after all.
How do you have 35 bonds?
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot of.
Well, and then it starts just cascading, and by the end of the game, he's got like over 100.
Yeah. But that,
Yeah.
The game
it happens. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
The game we're playing right now is the first game for one of our Discord listeners, John, and I've been watching and keeping an eye to see if he like pulls a Matt and just like goes and takes all the bonds out.
Pulls a Matt.
But
poor Matt.
He's done really well, and so that's the trick of this game. I think that first game is hard to know how many to pull out. So
Speaking of Matt.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations, Matt, on your wedding.
Oh yeah. We went to Bear Lake over the weekend, this past weekend, and he got married. So yeah, congrats, Matt. It was awesome. Got married by the lake, and we spent like 4 days up there. It was beautiful weather, beautiful wedding, and yeah.
Did you play Railways with him?
We did not play Railways. We did play some games, but the purpose of the weekend wasn't to get a lot of heavy games.
I would imagine.
We got our daily round of Parade in, which was awesome. I played this game called Trek 12, which I didn't talk about and played lately, but fantastic roll and write game, which was fun.
Cool.
But no Railways. Yeah.
You were about to say your stats, I think. So.
Yeah, so this is just on BGA. 26 plays with 5 victories. So, not great.
Yeah.
Still love the game, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so that's my number 4, Railways of the World.
All right, my number 3. Everybody knows that I love Vladimir Suchy games. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm good at them, but I love them. This is Underwater Cities.
Oh,
okay.
I almost have this on my list.
So I've played on Yukata 6 times with 1 win. I played on the table 6 times with 1 win. So that's a win rate of 17%. Not great. I still love the game though. I love I love the card play. I love how you're forced to keep only 3 cards, and then matching up the color of that card with the action can create some interesting decisions. I really want to do this action. I don't have that colored card. What do I do?
Right? Yeah, that's where I am right now. It's been my turn for a couple days in our current game, and I have no optimal play. And so I'm just
so what do you do?
I'm going to come back to that tomorrow. I don't want to know.
This is a Tyler strategy.
This is.
I'm playing a game of a Death for Robin Hood with Tyler that's been going on for like 2 or 3 months, and he has not taken a turn because he's in a bad situation.
Yep, this is a trend. I've noticed this as well.
We'll finish it eventually.
Yeah. Well, back to Underwater Cities. Let's hope we can finish this game eventually. We got on Yukata.
Yeah.
But the game's fantastic. And then when do you go for those end game scoring cards? There's a lot of planning to try to maximize those end game scoring cards. I love the route building and getting the domes out and building to those the cities that give you bonuses and stuff. There's a lot to love about this game, but I'm not very good at it. I think I've been close on some games. I've been maybe 1 or 2 points behind. Other games I've been blown out. But it's always a fun experience for me, and I love seeing what gets built. And I've talked about this before, but building your own thing that's unique to you it's fun. I love that in games. Right.
So I have won twice out of 7 games.
Okay.
My first win was my first game, and my second win was my second game, I guess.
All downhill.
So you're getting better.
I've lost all of them since.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to keep playing this one. I've got the expansion. I want to get it played on the table again. Yeah. It's harder to get this one to the table because it is a longer game, right?
It is.
The expansion does shorten the game by a few rounds, which is good. It's like the Prelude expansion for Terraforming Mars, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is a necessity if you're going to play this game on the table. But it is a little bit more difficult to get played because of the length. But whenever I do get it played, It's really cool. And it's got these like cool triple layer player boards and the expansion. I've got the upgraded bits from Board Game Geek, they're awesome. I love those. I just got to get it played more. And maybe if I play it more, I get better at it. Who knows? But that's my number 3, Underwater Cities.
Nice.
My number 3 is a game that I think it'll be interesting. So depending on how you look at it, I've got either 7 plays, 8 plays, or 10 plays of this game. The reason being is it's Welcome To. So base game Welcome To, I've played 7 times and I've lost every time. So I've got a 0% win rate on the base game of Welcome To.
Well, that's no good.
Welcome to Las Vegas I've played as well. I lost that one.
Okay.
Welcome to the Moon I've played a few times, two times I think. I've lost... no, I've got to play that one more. But every time I've played Welcome to the Moon, I've also lost that one. So I've lost every iteration of Welcome to, and I love this game nonetheless. Even
It's
when
fun.
I'm teaching this to people and showing them how to play, I've lost this game. So I don't know why I keep coming back to this game, but I do, and it's a fun game for me.
I agree. I think all of the Welcome To games are fantastic. Welcome to the Moon, by far my favorite, which we've talked about. I've played Welcome to the Moon 7 times, 2 wins, so 28%. I'm not great at it.
You're beating me, though.
I'm
by a
beating you,
lot.
but I'm not winning a high percentage of these. But it's always fun, right? And it's a brain burny puzzle to figure out, and I love that puzzle. I think it's a great one.
Yeah, I love the different iterations.
Yeah.
I've got 34 plays and 12 wins across the various iterations. So
Nice. That's pretty good.
So you're doing all right. You're doing all right, yeah.
35.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
so
that's solid.
then I
You're
need
clearly
to
the best Welcome To player.
If I need to increase
know
my
about that.
stats, I need to stop playing with you, is what I'm hearing. But yeah, I like Welcome To. I think it's a really fun game. And like you said, Kevin, it's brain-burning, kind of puzzly in that way that is really engaging, regardless of whether or not I win. I'm trying to solve the problem of what is placed before me and how to use it. I think that's fun. And I also think that it is similar to other like roll and writes. You've both mentioned roll and writes in this already. And I think that... that may be one of the reasons why roll and writes have been popular, is because you don't necessarily have to win to have a good time with them. And I think that this is a good example of that.
Yeah. Agreed.
So yeah, that's my number 3, Welcome To.
Nice.
My number 3 is a game that I have played 51 times,
Whoa. You keep on coming back to it.
and I have only won 12 times.
Okay.
That is a 23.5% percentage. King of Tokyo.
Oh.
I really enjoy King of Tokyo. I think it's a fantastic game.
Great game.
Yeah, but I'm terrible at it. 23%. I feel like out of 51 plays, I've only won 12 times. That's pathetic.
Yeah, you're terrible at this game. No, I wonder what my stats are.
23.5%. So 12 of 51.
I think I might be unfair on this one because I play this game with my kids a fair amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that may inflate my scores a little bit. I've got 34 plays of this. Never mind. 8 wins. So I'm 23%.
Against your kids?
We're on the same track.
Yeah.
That's nice.
What about you, Kevin?
I think I played this game before BG stats as well. So I've got 41 plays, but only 6 of them I had a win-loss. And I won, let's see, what is it? Two of the 6. Yeah, 33%. Who knows about the other ones?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to think I won the majority of those.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Fun game, though. I love the game. We haven't gotten this one out for a long time.
No.
Yeah, I
mean,
break this out again.
My kids played it this past week. So
Nice.
yeah. And I'm looking at this plays with them. I don't even win but against them. Never mind. So like I'm just really just bad at this game.
Yeah, but it's always a fun time. I love the power-up cards.
Yeah.
And how you can get those. Let's change the game. I think you always should play with the power-up cards.
totally
if you
agree.
can. Yeah, those are fun.
being able to utilize the hearts in a new way that, like, even if you're in Tokyo and you can't use the hearts to heal, you can still utilize them. Yeah,
get a power-up card. That's cool.
I like that.
That's cool.
All right, so that's my number 3, King of Tokyo.
All right, I'm going to follow up my last Suhi game with another Suhi game.
Oh, wow.
And this is Praga Caput Regni. I'm even worse at this one. So I've got 5 games on BGA, 0 victories. I've got 10 plays on Yukata with 2 victories, and then 3 face-to-face plays with 0 wins. So this is 11% win rate for Praga. Every time I play it, though, I have a good time. Yeah. It's a fun game. But I get to the end and I'm like, my score is just not great. We've talked about, and I think this is funny, we've talked about the King's Road.
We were a little overly harsh on that, I think.
And we feel like that, that's just an overpowered strategy. Well, I've tried that strategy a lot and it doesn't work.
He's like, I'm going to crack this code.
Yeah. I totally want to win this one. So King's Road it is.
That was one of the first games we reviewed. And I think that we were a little harsh on that.
I think
with that criticism.
Yeah. I think there's multiple paths to victory in this one. And I think, a skilled player is going to win if you're good at it, which is clearly not the case for me. But I like, there's so much that I like about this game. The crane is really interesting. I love that you can take a tile and you have 2 options of actions that you can take with that tile. I love the bonus that comes along with that. You can get stone, you can get coins. The walls that you can go up, those tracks are interesting and fun. There's a lot to like
in the
about
city
this.
Down at the bottom.
Yep.
It's tons of rewards.
With the orientation of how your tile is placed. Yeah.
And you can get bonuses for the wall based on those, the blue chips and the red chips, whatever they're called.
One of my favorite things is when it's your turn and an action tile that you want has made it all the way around and it's now worth 5 bonus points.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you get, it's like a super action for it. Yeah. That's really cool. I love that. So there's a ton to love about this game, and I like it, and I enjoy playing it. I never win.
I feel like this is the first game that either of you have brought up that I do fairly okay at. I've got 14 plays and 5 wins, 35% win rate.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
I've got 19 plays, 7 wins for 36%.
Oh, beats me out by 1%.
There you go. Yeah. You guys are masters. I am not.
So basically, when we're playing, it's either me or you winning.
Yep. I got to play with more random people on BGA. Well, no, that's not good because I'm going to get killed. Oh, this is funny. This is like off the topic here. So Onitama, I'm horrible at. You have seen me play. It should have been on the list. Well, I've only played it a few times. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get better at this game. I'm just going to play somebody random on BGA. I got matched up with a guy who's 4th in the world.
He beats you in two moves.
He's a 750 something. That's his score. Like he's way up there. Uh-huh. So I play a game with him, not knowing that he was this good. He just destroyed me. He's like, "Hey, you want to play again?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Play again, just destroyed me. And then I start looking at his profile. I'm like, holy cow, this guy is good. And I played one more time. He's like, want to play again? I'm like, no, I think I'm going to pass. I think you're just padding your stats. You're just trying
exactly. You're trying to get to that number
3.
1 spot.
Yeah, he's trying to get to 3 and get to the number 1 spot. He's picking on the guy that's like, I don't have a. I have
You're below 100.
I'm at 1.
Yeah.
My score is 1.
I had Tyson on the rocks, and I just shut him down. It was amazing.
I think that's false.
Onitama?
No, he totally was owning me. I
changed him into a corner.
Yeah, I was totally trapped into a corner, and he finally gave up a card that he had the whole game.
The
up
dragon
to that
card,
point.
yeah.
And he made a mistake, and I captured his elder or whatever they are.
It worked out.
Whatever.
It was good. It was fun because it was like, you idiot! I made this dumb mistake.
It was the most unsatisfying win ever. I was like, I hate this game. Why am I playing this? Because he was just destroying me, just slowly, methodically, tactfully, just cornering me.
And then one mistake.
And then he made a mistake.
I got a little too eager because I was trying to get my master pawn onto the pedestal. And I was like, I don't want to just have you pinned in this corner for the whole game. So I tried to move that master pawn up fast. And I just didn't pay attention to one card he had that allowed him to jump a couple spaces over. And
right. We got to get more games going on this because my 2 against you were, I don't know what I was thinking. They were over in like 3 moves.
I was sure because before I was playing you guys, my stats on Onitama were really bad, and I was sure that was going to be one of the games that was added to this list. But you guys have helped me move it up in my stats a little bit.
Hey, we do what we can.
I'm 2 for 2. I don't know who you're playing.
Well, it was mainly Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's true. I have nothing to say about that. So I don't know what we're talking about. Who are we on?
Your number 2 was
my number. Oh yeah. My number 2, Praga Caput Regni, designed by Vladimir Suchy.
So my number 2 is one that we've talked about several times recently, and one that I really enjoy. Spoiler alert. All of my top 3 are 0% because I never win any of them.
0%?
0% win rate. I've played the Voyages of Marco Polo 8 times and never won this game. We're playing a game of this right now, which exemplifies exactly why I'm terrible about it, is because every game of Voyages of Marco Polo, you get to choose a new kind of leader card. I can't remember what they're called, but like you choose a card at the start of the game that gives you a special power. And every time I get it, I'm like, oh, this is a fun way to play. Let me see if I can maximize this. And then I just don't. Like, I don't maximize it. And I do really poorly trying to maximize it the whole game, and I lose. Right now, I have a card that allows me to have 2 meeples exploring the map. Normally, you only have 1 meeple that explores the map.
I hate that one.
And I've been thinking, oh, well, maybe I can do this. I don't explore the map enough. I usually focus on contracts and get okay points. I've gotten in second a lot in 4-player games, but I've never been able to crack it and get to the first place spot. So I started using this one, and I'm worried that I'm just going to lose because
He's like, I've seen this movie before.
I've spent a lot of money, and it's not working out so well. So I love the game, and I love that there's a ton of variety in the game that allows me to continue to explore it. And even though I'm losing every time, I'm enjoying it.
So I've never played this. Do you get distracted by the shiny thing? Like, oh, I want to try this, because I played games like that before, where it's like I try a little bit of everything and I don't do anything well, and I just do terribly.
I think that's it. Is that I or the opposite, that I get so like tunnel vision.
Laser focus.
This is the one thing that I'm doing really well, and I can't deviate from this because that's working. So
I'm committed.
Keep it up. And I can't balance doing multiple things well in this game for whatever reason.
9 plays, 4 victories.
Oh.
And I'm on a roll.
You're almost at a 50% win rate.
I love this game. I recently was looking to see if I could find a copy of it somewhere, but right now it seems like only the second one is available. But
no, it's a fantastic game.
I love it.
Keep losing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to play this one. You guys have rave about it every time we talk about it. So
Luciani and Tassini, 2 of my favorite designers, 2 of our favorite designers. So
yep.
Yeah. So that's my number 2, Voyages of Marco Polo.
All right. My number 2 is, you can play it in teams. I've only ever played it solo. I have 1 win out of 17 games. It is Regicide. That is 6%.
Oh,
I don't even remember winning this.
maybe it was recorded wrong.
Maybe it was, except for it was imported from BGA. So apparently at some point I won this.
That's when the bug happened.
Yeah.
It gave you an auto win.
This is just a battle of attrition. You are constantly getting attacked. You're spending cards in different ways, and each suit has a different ability. But you're just trying to survive long enough to defeat all the royalty cards, and it is very challenging, very difficult, but very fun to play. Especially, this is a game that I think most of my plays were like laying in bed right before I fell asleep. You can knock out a couple games really quick of it, and it's just really fun.
You can lose a few games really, really fast.
Yes, absolutely. I apparently
Maybe
had one at one
it is
point.
fast.
But yeah, this is a fantastic game. It is designed by Paul Abrahams, Luke Badger, and Andy Richdale. And I crowdfunded. I was part of the crowdfunding project of Regicide Legacy. It has not fulfilled, but I am excited for that because it seemed like they were doing some really cool things with it. So I can't wait to get that and suck even more at this game.
Nice.
So,
Love it. Love it.
Regicide, my number 2.
All right, where are the number ones? So my number one game, I love this game. It was in my top 10 games of all time. I am terrible at it. We recently got it to the table, which was fantastic. Tyler hadn't played it a whole lot, so it was good. It's recently on BGA. This is 51st State, designed by Ignacy Trzewiczek and published by Portal Games. I absolutely love this game. I've played it 10 times on the table, a few more on BGA. I'm not counting any of the BGA stats because it's barely in alpha, I think.
There's some
there's some
things
bugs there.
They're working out with it.
Yeah, and they're working out some bugs. I currently have like 3 or 4 games going on at the same time, though, which is fantastic. 10 plays, 1 win, 10% win rate. The 1 win came when I was teaching 2 new players how to play the game. I don't think you were in on that one.
Really?
Yeah, that was Glenn and Justin.
And I wasn't in on that one.
And you weren't in on that one.
Well, my first play was your first play. Was it your first play too?
No.
Mark won the first game that I ever played.
Yeah.
You guys had played it one time before that.
We had played it before that. Yeah. It's weird.
I'm 0 for 2.
0 for 2? Yeah. You'll get up there and beat my percentage soon, I'm sure. Like I've played with Mark quite a few times, and I have 3 games against him where I've lost. 2 of them I've lost by 1 point, and the other one I've lost by 2 points.
Oh, wow.
So I've super
almost
close.
got there.
Almost got there. Can't quite get there. Every time I play with Tyson, I get destroyed. I don't know what it is. Tyson you just see this game differently for some reason.
I don't know.
what
I
it
see the
is.
combos.
He's not really paying his resources for
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I don't know. We're doing BGA right now, and it's counting stuff right.
Yeah, that's true.
But in that game,
that current game, I'm 18, you're 19. We're going into what is presumably the final round.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be.
We played with Tyson the other night.
Yeah.
And by the end of the second round, I think we both were aware that we were just playing for second place.
second place, yeah.
Because Tyson was just destroying us.
Yep,
I mean,
yep. But it was still
blew us apart.
Yeah, but it was still fun.
Oh,
That's the thing,
awesome.
right? What I love about this game is, well, it's kind of an engine builder, which I
Absolutely.
love engine builders. But this engine builder, it kind of tells a story as you're building your state, right? And it's a post-apocalyptic theme, which is an interesting theme.
please tell the story about what you were doing in your
unfortunately,
last game.
yeah, one of the first cards that I made a deal with a human trafficker, and then all of a sudden I started getting just a ton of people. I was just
And selling them to Pete.
Yeah, selling them to Pete. I don't know what it was terrible. I deserved to lose this game because my state was it was not good.
It was just like you were taking over schools and churches and like taking all the people part of them and
I had
selling
a very
them off.
honorable post-apocalyptic civilization going, but
more honorable than mine. But I think
I don't think you can win if you play honorably.
No, I did not play honorably, and I still didn't win. What was your state?
Mine was eclectic. I had some of everything. So it was just a happy place for some people.
Right.
And those who didn't abide by the rules got taken care of by the negotiator. So it was fine. It was a fine place to be. It's like our real world, essentially, is all it was.
Right.
My win percentage on this one, I've played 6 times on the table.
Yeah.
And I've won 4 of them. So I've got a 66% win rate.
Well done. Well done. You do very well at this game. I do not so much, but I like it. It's good. I love the puzzle of trying to figure it out, and I love that it's on BGA, and we can just explore it even more. This is coming to Cabin Con. I want to get some of the expansions out.
Yes.
Some of them that add a little bit more than just a deck of cards. I've played all of the expansions at this point, and I love them all. So, I want to explore them a little bit more. So. That's my number 1, 51st State. Fantastic game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Amazing. Similarly, 51st State is a game that I really enjoy and do pretty well at. I think that you'll agree that the roles flip here when we talk about my number 1 game, which is Teotihuacan. I've played Teo 11 times.
Most of those you didn't know what you're doing, though, right?
A lot of them I didn't know what I was doing, but enough that I knew. Like, I've got 0 wins in this game. I've got a 0% win rate, but I've played it enough that I knew what I was doing for the majority. And then when we played it on the table a while ago, I ended up seeing how things worked and realized, no, I pretty much understood most of what was going on. I just was really bad at this game. And so there were a couple things that did click for me that I think are helping me get a more competitive score. But even when you look at like how I was doing before, I think I've improved, like I said, my score. But my average score in this game is 139 games. No, sorry. My top score was 75.
I've gotten that in the first, the first era or...
Yeah, the first.
Oh, no. Okay.
Eclipse.
It's being dumb. It's
First Eclipse?
Eclipse. Yeah.
I need to fix my stats because it's saying lowest score
So
wins.
while you're doing that, what are your stats on this?
Let's see here. I've got, this is just BGA, 100 plays and 39 victories on BGA. So adding what the table plays, I probably played 5 or 6 times on the table, and I'll have to look those up. But.
So I got 140 plays and 61 wins for 43%. My average score is 145 point something.
Yeah, my average score, like I said, it's 139. My lowest score was 75. And I don't perform very well at this game on average. So,
what's your average score?
It says 145.
Mine says 143. So,
you know what? Sorry, that's
close.
the average score of everybody. My average score.
I was going to say, that was a little high for your win ratio.
My best score was 136.
Okay.
My average score is 92.
My best score is 232.
Yeah. Kevin just got 214 recently.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This game's great. Yeah. I love this game.
I kind of want to bring it to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Even though we play it on BGA and we can play it on BGA.
Well, there's no expansions, and the expansions add so much. Like the Priests and Priestesses are just fantastic, and the Seasons expansion, you throw that in every game, right? So, yeah. I would not be upset to play this at Comic-Con.
I will say that having played this on the table, I have grown in affection for the game. Before I was just losing and just thinking, I don't know how to figure this game out. Now I have a better understanding of it. I love dice games that are using dice in a way that dice placement. I think that's really fun, and this does it really well. I'm not a super big fan of rondels because I think generally I'm terrible at rondel games, but I like the rondel in this, and I think it does it really well. But yeah, that is my number one game, Teotihuacan.
Apparently, I need to play this game only on the table because I played it 7 times on the table, and I've won 5 of those.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So that's not bad. And my average score is 168 on the table. So that's considerably better than on BGA.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is there, but good.
I
think, choice.
I think the modules definitely add more opportunity for higher scores for sure.
Yes, I agree with that.
All right. My number one is one of our favorite games collectively. It is from Mind Clash, and it is Anachrony. I'm terrible at this game. I feel like I looked, so my BGA stats where I include everything, I'm 8 of 24, so 33%. But I feel like I'm way worse than that because every time I play on BGA, I feel like I'm getting destroyed. That win 8 of 24 was actually 2 times higher than what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be like 4 for 24, but I just feel like I get destroyed in this game constantly. I feel similarly in Gaia Project and Carnegie on BGA. Carnegie, I was 27%. Gaia Project, I'm 40%, but I swear I've just been destroyed in Gaia Project so many times that, I was surprised that it didn't make my list because I felt like I lost much, much more egregiously, right? But Anachrony, I love this game. I think it's fantastic. It's awesome. It's amazing. 8 for 24. I feel like that. I mean, somebody must have just given me the win and just been clicking buttons or something in a few of those, because I feel like I've lost almost every time I've played. So.
You've won more than me.
Really?
Now, that's I've played fewer games, and at least that I've tracked, because I've been playing this game for a lot longer than I started tracking.
Yeah.
And so I don't know exactly how many, but since I started tracking, I've played, I've won 4 of 14 plays, so I'm at 28%. Still not great.
What's your average score? Mine's 55, which is not great.
Oh, my average score is 62.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got this is just table plays. Played it 9 times on the table. I have 4 victories, so 44%, and average 61.22 is my average.
Yeah. So that's my number one, Anachrony. I'm terrible at it. I love the game. Maybe that's why it's fallen a little bit in my top 50 list and fell a little in the previous time we did it, but I feel like I'm the worst at it.
You know what? I've considered bringing this one to CabinCon. It's a big game though, but
I want it.
But the whole blinking,
that's what I want to
fractions
play.
of time. I want to play that.
I want to try that. I've never played it.
I don't want to teach it to anybody. So if I bring it, I just want to play with us 3. But then I don't know if that's even going to work. So
I feel like there are certain games that you can say, "Hey, I want to play this game, and I don't want to teach rules. Can I please have people that have played it before?"
I think that's completely fair, right?
I think
there's going to
too.
be so many games to play that I don't think that's going to be a problem with anybody.
You save so much time if you don't have to do a rules teach, right? Like if I bring Teo and we're going to play Teo, I do not want to teach that, because that's a half-hour teach at least.
Yep.
And then, you're just wasting time, right? I want to play some of the bigger games without having to teach rules for them.
Yeah. So I may bring it. Would you guys want to play Anachrony?
I absolutely
I would totally
want to play
it.
And there would be a slight teach with fractures of time, but it would be very abbreviated because we know how to play the base game already, right? And we would need a refresher on fractures of time anyway, but it would go quick. Maybe I'll bring it. It takes up so much space though, with that infinity box. But whatever. Cool. Good choice. I don't think you're as bad at the game as you say you are.
I feel terrible at it.
It's funny. As we're going through our lists, Tyson's like, I am at 0 on 3 of my games. Tyler's like, I suck at this game. I've only won 38%, It's like, what? Oh my gosh.
No.
I'm like, no, you're good at
All
games.
yours are like in the 20s.
I had a couple. I mean, I was 0 for 7 on New Frontiers. I'm 0 for 7 on 7 Wonders, but I don't love 7 Wonders.
That was the trick.
That's the thing.
Right?
Is like, do you still like
which ones
the
are the
game?
ones that you love? And that's why I
Yes.
put these ones on here, because I love them. I have a bunch of honorable mentions here.
Oh, yeah, let's
that
go over honorable
I
mentions.
like
Yeah.
and I enjoy, but I'm really terrible at. I don't love them as much as these.
Yeah. Okay, what are your honorable mentions?
Okay, so my honorable mentions, and I'll save the best for last. I have Darwin's Journey. I
Okay.
love Darwin's Journey.
Yeah.
I got a 22% win rate on Darwin's Journey.
Okay.
4 wins out of 18 plays.
Oh.
I am not good at this game. I've never been good at this game, but I've always enjoyed it.
I think I've even beat you. So
Yeah, I'm not great. But I have 2 games that I'm going to end probably tonight, and I think I'm going to win both of those, maybe.
Oh, your
or there's a chance I'll win
percentage
at
is
least
going
one.
up. Things
so
are
I'm thinking
turning.
things might be looking up here.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
figuring it out because it's on BGA.
Love it.
I've got Azul,
Okay. What's your Azul win rate?
2 wins out of 18 plays at 11%.
My Azul, so 26 out of 79 for 32%.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised that wasn't higher.
Yeah.
All right, so let me look at my Azul. So base Azul, I've got 31 plays with 16 wins. So I'm at 51%.
Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
ain't bad at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not
How
bad.
about
That
this?
feels about right.
Yeah,
I feel like you generally
I do pretty.
win Azul when
Yeah.
we play.
I do pretty good on that one. Yeah.
Res Arcana. I got 4 wins out of 22 plays, 18% win ratio on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You guys kill
I-
me every time we play that game.
I feel like Res Arcana, I started off strong on that one, and I've been not winning much lately, but love that game. That's a great game.
Nova Luna is another one for me.
Okay.
2 wins, 26 plays, 7% win ratio.
I gotta check that one.
I think Tyler, I think you win more often than that one.
I think Mark does win that one.
Mark does good too.
I've got 98 plays.
I suck as bad as you do at this game.
So I've got 59 wins out of 98 plays, 60%.
That is, see?
Okay, yeah. That's
all thanks to Tobin,
Tobin,
who taught us the game at
Origins.
Well, he taught me the game too, and I'm terrible at it. 14 plays, 2 victories. So
yeah, we're right
me
there.
and you,
Dude,
Tyson, are right there.
Skawai, I've got 66 plays with. He's won 20 times. So he's pretty good at it too.
That's nice. That's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
So the one that you guys have been waiting for.
Oh, railroad.
How did this not make your list?
It didn't make my list.
Because you hate the game.
I don't hate it. I actually do enjoy it. I just don't enjoy it as much as the other ones that I put on my list. Railroad Inc., I've got 49 total plays. And I've got 3 wins in giving me 6%.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not much better. I have between
not much better than that.
78. Sorry, I've got them separated by color. So blue, I have 12 wins out of 56 plays, 21%. That's not great. It's not great.
It's still way better.
Well, yeah.
He's in the 20% again.
Exactly.
I am. Oh
I
no,
don't
that
think you
was
understand
Tyson.
what the definition of bad is.
I thought I was 0 for 19 on the red. That's Tyson. I'm 9 for 22 on the red, so I'm a little better
That's
on
pretty
red.
good. That's pretty good.
And green, I am 1 for 5, so not great. And I think Kevin won
That's still
most of those
20%.
games.
Well, I've got 59 plays on BGA and 24 victories.
Yeah, you generally do pretty well on that one.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Face to face. I just think it's hilarious.
I've just got a lot of games that I'm really, really terrible at.
All right, the red Blazing Red edition, face to face plays, 16 plays, 7 wins, so 43%.
Yeah.
I generally do well on that one.
Witch's Brew, 26%. And 6 wins out of 23 games.
Okay, all right.
That was one of my.
Witch's Brew. This is fun. Pulling up stats. Let's see.
Space Base, 22 out of 69 for 31%.
Space Base. I
Almost
don't think
made.
I have won
All
a
right.
single game of Space Base.
This is your honorable mention at 39%.
No, 31%.
Oh, 23%. That's what I got on Space Base. And I've got 46 plays of it.
46. Space Base.
Okay, I'm going to find.
I've only played it 4 times. I have 0 wins, so that's not a big enough sample size. But yeah.
Yeah, Space almost made my honorable mentions list because I do really enjoy that one. And truly, again, I just am really bad at a lot of games.
But as long as we're having fun, that's all that matters.
I'm just glad that I'm good at the games that you guys are really bad at too, so that's fine.
No thanks, 28%,
Okay.
25 plays.
Ink and Gold for me.
Yeah, that was a bad one for me too.
Ink and Gold. I six plays. I got 0 wins. I tend to, like, on pressure luck games, go
bigger,
a little
go
bit
Pressure
too,
luck a little bit
a
too
little bit
much.
too hard.
I
go press my luck a little bit too hard.
5 out of 24 for 20%. That's pretty bad too. So.
Yeah. Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. If my daughter is playing, she will win. That's just the way it is. So I don't win that game much either.
Do you have other honorable mentions, or is that
like Spookies? Another pressure luck game. I don't know if you guys have played that before, but it's your kids exploring a haunted house, and you're going up level by level. You're rolling dice. It's pressure luck. That's all it is. 13 plays, 3 wins, 23% win rate on that one.
Do you guys have any below 15%? Because I feel like all of yours were you mentioned a couple, Kevin. You had a couple.
I have
on your list.
11, 10. I mean, that's not good. That's not good. Tyler's the one that's over. I've only won 50% of the time. I'm terrible at this game.
I Can't Stop Express, 7%, Regicide, 5%, Seven Wonders, 0%, New Frontiers, 0%, Ready, Set, Bet, 0 for 6, Heat Pedal to the Metal, 0 for 5. Mountain Goats, 0 for 5.
Yeah, but that's, I don't think.
Okay, that's funny.
Nidavellir, 0 for 4. Astra, 0 for 4.
Oh, you haven't won Astra?
No.
I don't think I've won Astra.
Wingspan, 0 for 4. Monster Crunch, 0 for 3.
Well, that explains.
That's the one that hurts the most.
I mean, you're like invested in that game every time you play, too.
so my one choice is
I have
where
a
to spend
100%
my
win
milk.
ratio on Astra, by the way.
Oh, let's see what okay, Monster Crunch, I've played 24 times. And I have won 9 of those.
Oh.
Okay, 37%.
So you got luckier hands than everybody else.
No,
9
it's
times.
skill. It's skill,
Sure
Tyler.
it is.
When do you spend those milk tokens, okay?
Yeah, no, that's the crucial
It's
one decision
crucial.
that you have. Yeah.
2 decisions.
So
Thank
just
you.
curious, on the flip side, what are like your 2 best games that you're the best at?
I mean, I just said
where-
Astra. I have a 100% win ratio.
I mean, with a decent amount of plays.
sample size, yeah.
Where do you go to see this?
Do cooperative 8 games count? They
Sure.
have a 100% win ratio.
Garinto, I've played 4 times and won all of them.
Nice.
So there you go.
This one surprises me. Root, I've played 9 times and won 88% of the time.
Paperback Adventures. I've played 9 times and won 100% of the time.
Is it a solo game?
No, yes, it is a solo game.
Cover Up, I've played 18 times, won 88% of the time. That's just a cockroach poker since there's only one loser. No, Tyson, look that up. I want to see what yours is on that. 87% cockroach poker.
I got 80% for cockroach poker.
40%. It's not that bad. I got a 40% win on cockroach poker.
Oh, that's so funny.
Orleans, I have played 15 times. I lost once to Ben and once to Shelley.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
86-ish percent.
Okay.
Acquire, I'm only won 12 of 16 since I started recording.
I've won 68% of my Lorcana games. 103 games played there.
Wow. That was a
Voidfall.
big sample size.
That's pretty, I mean. that's pretty good.
Voidfall.
Voidfall.
What do you got?
Okay, how many times you played?
I've played it 4.
You've won
3?
You won 3 of those?
3 of those times.
Nice.
Oh, wow. There you go. That's good.
75%.
That's good. Concordia Venus. 66% win rate
I'm
on
pretty
that.
sure I'm over on that one.
Yeah, that game's fun. Twa, I'm at 66%.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Power Grid, I'm at 66%. My Power Grid days were back when I took the 2-year break logging games. So,
Onitama.
ooh, what you at there?
I thought I was low. I just confirmed that I'm at 10 plays with 77% win rate.
Whoa. Nice.
How do you get...
I've tried to figure it out too. I don't know.
Do you have a draw in there?
It should be 70, but whatever. I don't understand.
Oh, Inside Job, I'm at 71%. There you go.
Cthulhu Death Might Die, 57%.
Oh, that's
pretty
not bad.
good.
Star Wars Unlimited, 55% with 40 plays.
Okay, that's good. It's pretty evenly matched on that one.
Stone Age, 57% with 38 plays. This was fun.
Yeah, this was really
It
fun.
was a good time. And if it's not apparent, the thing that we're most excited about is Cabin Con, which we will be coming up on soon. And we'll be away for a few days playing some great games.
Well, and to piggyback on that, I'm also very excited for Mark's brisket.
Yes. We have amazing brisket every year as part of our planning session.
Looking forward to that.
And
For sure.
I think we're going to plan a little more loosely the games. We're not going to be ranking really. So we'll have actual time to play some games too on
On the planning day,
Yeah, we'll get planning, brisket, and a couple games in. So it's going to be sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Always a good time. Weekend of just playing games.
And maybe
Who doesn't
we'll-
like that?
Maybe we'll play games that we can actually win.
Maybe.
I think you
And-
should bring your Railroad Ink.
I think I should. Hey, and if we've learned anything from this episode, even if we don't win, we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
playing,
Yeah.
right. It's gonna be fun regardless.
Well, I love the dynamic of our group. It feels like nobody has to win to have a good time.
Right.
And there's nobody that's ruining a game night because they didn't win.
There's no flipping the table.
Yeah.
Well, and additionally, everybody has games they're good at, and we cycle through games that everybody's good at, and everybody's bad at, which is great. I love that we have the ability to go through stuff, and everybody wins at some point, essentially, and everybody loses at some point, clearly.
Yeah. It's good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
All right. So our next episode, we're going to be recording on location at CavinCon.
Whoa.
Hopefully Matt the Rat doesn't follow us.
I really hope that's... Actually,
it
I don't
would be
care
hilarious if he did.
As long as it doesn't follow me, I don't care.
He's got to poop in your bed.
We're a little closer to civilization this
That's
time.
true.
I'm hoping that cleaning services are a little bit more regular than the last place we went.
You never know going into these rentals that what kind of condition they're going to be in. So
it was a great place, but there were dead bugs everywhere, rat poop.
Yeah, but I get it. I ran.
I mean, you did get it.
I did get that. Yeah. I got all that. I ran an Airbnb VRBO kind of a couple of properties for a year or so, and we had bullet holes. We had drunken lockouts. We had like all sorts of crazy, horrible stories, and I think that anybody would be very appreciative of us coming to their establishment, because we're just a bunch of board gamers who are not really that reckless and crazy, and
we don't drink. So it's like
For a couple of them, I was arranging everything and messaging them, hey, we're just a bunch of nerds playing board games all weekend. There won't be any partying, anything. Can we get in the house a little early, please? So we can get started. I don't think we've done anything destructive to any of the houses we've stayed in.
Maybe the road's coming back, but other than that, no.
Oh yeah, I slid off the road on the first one. Some guy had to come tow me out.
Yeah,
that was.
And Ben got out of the car and ate it.
He fell flat on his face. I didn't get his hands in his pocket. He looked like a penguin.
That was an experience.
Well, and then the guy, it was like I didn't know how to get it towed out, and there was that little secret door where you screwed in the eye
German
bolt.
cars.
Yeah, right. The guy's like, I'm just gonna strap us around your wheel. I'm like, no, you're not.
That's a bad idea. Please don't.
Like my alignment's gonna be jacked up.
Yeah.
So we figured it.
We got out of there and we're driving home on the highway and hearing this because there was a block of ice in your tire.
I'm like, what is going on here? Got something seriously wrong.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. Good memories.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Well, and then last year, I don't know why we did this again, but it had recently snowed.
Yeah.
And then getting up to that place, it was beautiful when we got there. There's a huge hill. It's like, oh gosh.
Tyson and I pulled up and there were no tracks in the snow. It was like,
nobody's been here ever.
Are we going to be okay?
Yeah. Was my all-wheel drive SUV going to be able to get up here? So
yeah. We made it. It was good. It was a fun place.
It was. Yeah, let us know what games you're terrible at on our Discord.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to get that conversation going.
I want to know. And then challenge us at them, because I need to up my stats in something.
Anybody who can pad Tyson's railroading stats.
Please.
It'd be like the Onitama guy. Yeah.
Anybody who's really good at Regicide, please help me out. Let's play a team game and get my numbers bumped up.
I need some newbies for Praga, please.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Longest Turn Board Gaming Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you want more Longest Turn in your life, please check us out on Instagram. Also, be sure to check us out on Board Game Geek, where you can join our guild, Guild 3947, and check out our blog, where we post all our show notes and occasionally post more detailed reviews. If that's not enough for you, we have a Discord server. If you want to play a game with us on Board Game Arena, join our Board Game Arena group, The Longest Turn. Until next time, thanks for listening.
Tot ziens.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Is there a better way to say that?
I like games we suck at, but that might sound a little harsh.
This is Tyson.
You do that again.
Yep. This is Tyson.
Whatever you want to do, dude. I don't know how you walked right past Logan and he didn't see you, but...
He almost
He almost did.
Okay. Good night.
All right, so that's never mind. What did I just talk about?
All right. I think we got. Yeah.
Is that why you said penguin?
Yeah. Yeah,
Penguin? Oh,
that's Swedish or Norwayish? Norwegian.
Norwayish. Oh my God.
Yes. In Gunther Cornet.
That's like when people say, "You lived in the Netherlands and you speak Danish?" No, that's Denmark.
Oh, it's like Swedish. So you speak.
You went to Switzerland?
You went to Switzerland?
Yeah.
No,
Come
it's
on,
a different.
people.
That's a different country. Yeah.
Americans and their geography.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but we don't even know what our own states and capitals, or a lot of times people struggle with American geography.
Quiz
as well.
us, Tyson.
I'm not saying you. All right, what's the capital of Vermont?
Montpelier.
Yeah.
Boom. Nailed
Yeah.
it.
What is Washington State's capital?
Salem.
Washington
no,
State?
Olympia.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
knew
Yeah.
that. Yep.
Rad.
Radlands.
Nice.
From Roxley. It's designed by Daniel.
We got some
Just
tough
Dan.
ones. Just go for it.
I don't know. Sorry, Daniel.